In my email, we talk about this change of character bar on Friday. Last week, we also talk about there's a potential for a reaction, but this is quite an extensive reaction that I did not anticipate. On Friday, this is the highest volume that we have ever get since May. After get back above 5,500 level, we never get this kind of the volume, and the magnitude dropped 2.7% in one day, wipe out the gain since September 15, almost a month of gain. Last week, it failed to come in above 6,800. We lack of the aggressive demand to push it forwards. That's why it's easy to get a reaction when we have a spike of the supply. It triggers a significant drop. This drop marks as a change of character. This change of character doesn't hang like this or even this. This one bar alone wipe out a month of gain, and we never get this kind of the volume compared to the past here, or even this bar here, and here is a lot lesser. That is considered as a change of character, suggests that this move could be over for now into a consolidation. In my email, I talk about the obvious level. 6,400 to 500 is the support zone that we could pay attention to. Despite we have a rebound yesterday, today seems like I want to go for another test. If we look at the hourly chart here, we have an extensive drop. Look at this spike of the volume in sync with the price. Subsequently, attempt to rebound from the bottom. It failed to overcome 6,700. It's actually a minor level previously as support level. And once it's broken, it becomes a resistance, struggle to get above and continue the fall. It doesn't surprise me when we have another test, since this kind of the drop with heaviest volume that we have ever seen need to get tested. If we get a test near 6560 with decreasing of the volume and keep bouncing here, that would be a constructive case. Slightly more bearish case that I am actually anticipating is a lower low test. Means a break of the low of Friday's bar, breakdown of the Friday's low to about 65 or even 64, and then bounce out from there to create another structure before create the all-time high again. This kind of supply will take time to resolve and to get absorbed. I didn't expect another go to the all-time high. This is a headline-driven environment. You need to be aware of that. A more likely scenario will be a lower low test, or at least to test a low to about 65, consolidate, and to go up again. I don't think this strong uptrend is over. It's getting extended and overbought. It's perfectly normal and healthy to have a pullback and consolidation before it goes up to challenge new high again. Now is the best time to build up another set of the watch list. I've already shared the hot team. There are more than 20, 30 stocks, about 7 teams that revolve around the AI and high technology. Let's pay attention to that few teams. If they are still resilient or even going up and buck the trend, then there are the stocks we need to find a way to get in or scale in to position for next year. Since the index has been dropped, we want to find other outperforming stocks that can actually drop lesser than the index or go flat or have some small rally. This will be outperforming stocks that we could easily identify during a market pullback. Now is the time to do that. Not getting aggressive is my recommendation, although we'll still run through the setup and some of them still looks quite promising. But I would strongly suggest that you cut down the risk. If you risk 1% of your portfolio previously, now you might want to test the water with 0.5% risk or even 0.3%. Test the water to see whether they will stick. If it does, then slowly you can scale in and more positions. Meaningful support level is still at about 6,500 to about 6,400. That is the zone that I expect. Even if it come back down right below and tested the zone, it is still relatively healthy. It's likely going to bounce up from here. Next thing that I want to see is decreasing of the supply and together with decreasing of the volatility. If that's the case, everything is still healthy and we are still on track to see the end of year rally, the Christmas rally. But there will be probably delay since we're already in the middle of October. Suddenly we have this bar coming out. The S&P 500 will be choppy, volatile, short term, chopping up and down. 64, 6,500 is the meaningful support zone that is likely going to see buyers come in